Hello and welcome to BrixFix. I am your host Brix, here today with a LEGO City set. Today we have set number 60412, the 4x4 fire truck with rescue boat. The set contains 301 pieces, is a 5+ age rating, quite modest there for that 5+, I gotta say, and is priced at $34.99 in the US or $44.99 its Canadian equivalent. I hear you barking, big dogs. Everybody out there who is a big fan of the price per part ratio metric and measurement. I gotta pull the reins back on you there for just a minute though. There is a lot of big pieces in this set, most notably the classic rubber dinghy piece, which in this scenario has been turned into unit number 3 for the LEGO City Fire Service. Their outboard motor-powered dinghy boat. This is a common rescue boat style used in both the fire service as well as Coast Guard and search and rescue. This would be an inflatable, the brand is called Zodiac. They're Zodiac boats. Military use them too in different sizes, but this vehicle is what is attached to the trailer. That unit number 2 there, the actual 4x4 truck, is pulling out into the bush to get across this river and rescue that poor young gentleman there with the out-of-control cook fire at his little campsite. If you like LEGO set reviews, please consider subscribing to the channel. I put out new videos each and every week, and your support goes a really long way in helping the channel grow so I can put out more videos for you. It's a symbiotic relationship. But for now, let's get this built out here on the table and give you a closer look. At last, the reveal. This is everything you get in this set. Look what's here. Those big tent pieces. It's a very simple representation of a tent, but those do take big pieces to do that. The set does come with 3 minifigures, which isn't a ton for this price point, but it's acceptable. And getting back to those wheels and tires on that truck, those are huge. No building required, those came fully assembled, and they are big, meaty rubber tires with the plastic pieces to insert them onto the mold of the chassis. And the dinghy. That little dinghy is one giant piece. You do brick build it up a tiny bit, but the actual boat itself is all one piece, and there's a lot of big pieces that go into the trailer. So no, this is not the best price per part ratio or even bang for your buck, but I think for what's here, when you take everything into consideration, this is not poor value, and there is lots of play here. I have now obtained all of the new LEGO City Fire Department playsets, but for some reason this was the first one I gravitated to build. It just jumped off the box to me and said, build me, I'm fun. And you know what? I've built it, and I agree. Now this is by no means in the monster truck category, but this truck has got some heft and beef to it. It rolls really nicely on those big aggressive rubber tires, and look how built up this chassis is. A lot of pieces of the set went into building this little truck. The door's open for imagined minifig access, but most likely you're going to pull the roof off and pop your minifig in and out that way. Even with the firefighter fully wearing their gear, somebody fits in there just fine. For this wide of a stud build, you might be disappointed only one fig fits in there, but dems the brakes. Let me demonstrate how easily, whoops, maybe not. Just fix her legs there. Okay, here we go. Let me show you how easily a fig can fit in there, even with all their gear. You think that helmet might interfere with the roof, but it is hollow on the top, so when it snaps into place, it does even give space for her to have all of her gear on, but she can be the only one in the cab at that one time. Works all the better if you tilt her back just a little bit for some very relaxed driving, then she fits even better in there. This truck has a lot going for it aside from its big, powerful, menacing look. There is a storage cabinet here on the side, which you could imagine contains some EMT equipment or maybe just some advanced firefighter gear. And on the side there are those big blue bulges. I think that's supposed to be the suggestion of the water on board. There is an axe here at the back, and this is the water cannon, which would be using that payload of water on board, but it does have a stud shooter just for fun and imaginative play, which I think is awesome. This set packs a lot of fun. We haven't even gotten to the boat or the little campsite. My only real complaint with the stud shooter with the water attachment is that the cord, the cable, the hose, if you will, in universe is not really long enough to get a minifig firefighter too far from the truck. So it does its purpose, but I could have used an extra little bit of length to this for just a bit more action closer to the fire. I thought it was really neat that LEGO took the time and effort to number these firefighter equipment units. So the main fire truck that comes with the hull is number 1, The off-road 4x4 truck is labeled number 2, and this little dinghy is labeled number 3. It fits right under this little trailer here with the same style of rubber tires. Not quite as aggressive, but still big rubber tires that the truck came with. And as you can see, the trailer is fully detachable, which is quite nice. You can imagine it getting set up on the river to drop the trailer. It doesn't have to necessarily be a part of the truck at all times. The trailer is super simple. It's not that many bricks to put it together, but it is pretty nice the way it's done. It's very streamlined, but it keeps the piece count down to provide more pieces for the campsite and the truck, which I appreciate. Unit number 3 here, the rescue dinghy, does not need to have much of a piece count to it because the rubber dinghy hull is all one piece, but it does have a little bit of a build to it. There's the suggestion of a jet outboard motor, a little bit of equipment there on display with a walkie-talkie and a set of binoculars. There's even a set of emergency lights on it and a steering wheel for operation. So yeah, for what's here, I think this is pretty cool. Next up is the little campsite here, and I say the word little almost in quotations because this is small and there is not that many pieces that go into it, but there is a lot going on here. For a small little suggestion, you've got your double piece of campfire here, so you can show one bigger fire or 2 little smaller fires out of control. There is a little tiny dock overlooking a bit of water and this brick-built tent. Very simple. It's literally 2 pieces on a swivel that come together to form a point. The bedroll in there is barely more than 2 flat tiles, but it works. A brick-built tree, good accent, and a little tiny propane or just a gas-operated cook stove. You can see he's frying an egg there. Again, all really simple. Not many pieces go into this, but it's really well done. These torsos are gender neutral, so you could swap anything around between these two any way you like, but this was the box suggestion of the female firefighter there on the left, being the one driving the 4x4 rig, and the gentleman there on the right wearing the life vest. He is the assumed operator of the rubber raft, unit number 3. So having these two together, they look great in their equipment. This looks really believable. The way that their prints are done, which are just spectacularly done prints, and the fact that they get headgear in those helmets and a life preserver, but not limited to that. They also come with their respective hair pieces, and both of these hair pieces are awesome. I especially like the female firefighter's hairpiece. I don't see that very often. And now with their gear off, you can get a better look at those torso prints as well as the legs. Well done, 10 out of 10 on these prints. They look fantastic for both figures, and the fact that they're different from each other is pretty cool too. Torso prints for the rear, just as good as what's up front, and these hair pieces, get a look at them from the back, they are so well done. The lone camper here, the guy in trouble, calling for SOS from the Lego City Fire Department, has an amazing printed torso top that I have never seen before. His print is much more subtle on the back of his torso, but there is still a little something there. So there it is. You've seen it all, front to back, upwards and down, every part and every piece. Does this feel like $34.99 USD or $44.99 Canadian equivalent to you? To me, the price per part ratio is not good, but I don't really pay too much attention to that metric. But as far as price per play, hours of play for the build and what's here for actually playing with, I think this is great. I like sets that are their own little thing, and from Lego City it's nice to pair up different sets, support sets going with bigger sets. This could clearly be seen as a support set to the fire hall, but it is its own thing. If you don't necessarily have to have the fire hall or any of the other firefighting equipment, if you just had this one set, you could have this in town, or as it's supposed to be perpetrated here on the box, to be a wilderness firefighting vehicle. There's lots of play here. If you are somebody that wants to collect all of the Lego City Firefighter units, I love that they're all numbered. That's something real fire departments do to their different vehicles and units to keep them clear over radio chatter and know who's talking to who, so that's a nice little touch I've never seen in Lego City Fire before. I had mentioned, that this felt like finger quotations around the 5+ age rating, and I didn't mean that a 5-year-old could not conceivably and rather easily put this together. I was more saying that this didn't feel relegated just for the 5+ category. This felt more on the plus category. Being an adult builder and collector myself, I put this together and it was super fun. It didn't feel, I feel like the line in the sand is 4+. 4+ sets I don't usually buy. They're not that fun to build. They usually come with huge pieces that are already put together, much like the rubber dinghy that comes in this set, but this still had a great building experience, mostly to do with that campsite and the beefy 4x4 truck. So 5+ age rating for sure as far as the bare minimum, but this could appeal to really any age category in my opinion. The Lego City 4x4 fire truck and rescue boat, I thought the set was spectacular. Old Bricks here likes LEGO City quite a bit, so I always look forward to doing a LEGO City build and review for you for the channel, and I love this little set so much. I like the beefy truck, it's got good ground clearance, some big tires, a formidable off-road look to it, and the fact that the trailer is detachable and it comes with a dinghy boat, so you can imagine there's a river here as part of your play. I thought that was nice. And hey, this poor guy at the campsite here needs some help. His cook fire is out of control and could start a forest fire. Look at the play that's here just from this one little set. I could have used one more figure, maybe not necessarily another firefighter figure because this seems like a tandem squad, but how about maybe, you know, another figure for the campsite, a fishing buddy for him or a spouse with a baby, maybe a little Lego dog. That would have made the value feel a bit better, but all in all, I don't feel ripped off by this. I think this was good play value and good value for stuff. I think there's quite a bit going on here, and I like these simple brick-built tents that LEGO was doing now. I thought that was a nice touch. I had a lot of fun showing this to you today. If you had fun hanging out with me, please consider subscribing to the channel, and hey, leave me a comment down below. I would love to know what your thoughts and feelings were on this little LEGO City set. Until next time, know that you are very appreciated. Take care.